Hey YouTube, AZBuilt3433 here once again. And this is really not a boil test, even though I showed a little Reader's Digest version of a boil test on this particular stove here. And what this one is an adaptation of the super stove. I had a comment from a viewer that said that, you know, he really liked the stove, but he just couldn't do that rollover effect that you need to be able to do this rollover type stove. So I thought, well, what if I just took a hairspray can? I had some hairspray cans. The inner ring of a hairspray can fits inside the Bud Light pretty easily. I mean, it's got enough of a gap and everything else. You can see this is a Bud Light, and then the hairspray can, there's enough wiggle room in there that you can get some carbon felt in there. So I tried that, and well, the first couple of ones I did, they didn't work very well because I've got a lot of leakage coming out through the bottom. But as you can see on the run-up video that I did at the beginning of this video, that it actually, the run-out looks a lot better. I don't get any of the, you know, the flames coming out through the top here anymore. And the reason why that happened, there's a reason why I don't have that anymore. If you can look down on the inside here, and let me see if I can get a pretty good view of this. If you can see down on the inside, I have weep holes down in the bottom. And those weep holes, when you put the carbon felt in, you have to be able to see the carbon felt in those weep holes, or else this will not work. And so to that effect, what I did, the weep holes I made with my hole punch. I made 4 weep holes around the perimeter on the bottom here. And then what you would take for the carbon felt, let me get this out of the way here, move these a little bit here. You would take a piece of carbon felt. Now I did it in 2 sections, not one whole section. You can try it if you want, but you cut these I cut about 7/8 of an inch wide here. And what you do is you have to stretch this out very taut. You have to get a real taut, and you can't have any overlap. You can have a little bit of gap, but you can't have any overlap. And then once you get it started in your bottom of the Bud Light bottle, you're not going to want to press this down all the way at the beginning. You're going to just want to get it started with your hands or your fingers or your fingernails or whatever. Get that carbon felt started on the inside. And then what I used is a small bladed screwdriver, and you just kind of go around the edges and you push it in a little further. You go around the edges and push that down. All the time seeing that you have the carbon felt showing in your weep holes that are on the bottom here. That's what you really want to have. So once you get it all the way down to the bottom, you've got to be able to have that carbon felt showing in those weep holes. Then you take your second piece, and this is already all the way down, you take your second piece and say you've already got your carbon felt in there, do the same thing. Cut it 7/8 of an inch, pull it real taut, and then you start working it down with your fingers at first, and then use an instrument similar to this screwdriver, and that works out to a pretty good adaptation of a super stove. So I hope you enjoyed this. I wish I could have taken more pictures of when I did it, but I had some failures when I first did it. What's really nice, if you don't see it, the carbon felt down there, you can pull it out. It's tight. I mean, this thing is in there very, very tight. It's not going to come out. And but if you have to, you can work it back out again and start it all over again and make sure you got your carbon felt showing in the weep holes. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I think to the people who cannot do the rollover, this is a good substitute for that. And if you have any comments or questions or anything, I'd appreciate them. And for those who subscribe, thank you very much. You subscribe to my channel, I thank you very much. And again, any questions or comments, please let me know. Otherwise, we will see you later. Bye-bye.